Good morning to everybody. Thank you so much for your time today, to Cecile, Emily, Tracy as well, who's going to help us to answer all the questions, and all the participants today in this webinar. We are going to learn about the MEng, the course-based programs and the opportunities that you have here at the University of Waterloo. This webinar, this is the first one of a series of webinars that we will have every Wednesday, every week. So if you are connected here and you want to learn more about other programs as well, just think about it. Every Wednesday in the morning, there is going to be a webinar. So this is the first one. We have an excellent team here who will explain the benefits of the course-based programs. Those are called the MEng, the Master of Engineering, and the coop opportunities, of course, that we all have. So who are here today? We have Cécile Devoid, professor and associate chair of mechanical and mechatronics engineering at the University of Waterloo. Hopefully you will see her in person when you join the university, and you will see that you will continue learning more than even today. We have as well to Emily Metzler. She is the administrative coordinator for Engineering Graduate Studies Office. Hopefully also when you join the university, you can meet her in person, and you will see that she will help you with any questions that you might have to get enrolled in the graduate programs. And me, I'm Maria Sandoval. I am the Graduate Studies Marketing and Recruitment Specialist. I am here to host these kind of events to let you know the opportunities that you have here at the university. And Tracy Salmon, she will help us in the back with all the questions that you may have in the chat. So what would you learn today? First, what is a Master of Engineering course-based program? What it is, because there are different kind of masters. We will talk about it in a bit. The difference from other master's programs, and what are the benefits, like why to take an MEng. What are the MEng programs in the Faculty of Engineering? You know that Waterloo is one of the biggest universities in all Canada, so of course you have a lot of options that you will learn today. With the MEng programs, you have co-op opportunities. This is something very unique from the University of Waterloo, and even from masters all over the world. So you will see the options that you have. In general, how is the coursework, cost, and time, and the general steps to apply. Emily will give you great tips about how to make a great application. So now, Cecile, you kind of start. Let's see what is a Master of Engineering.
Yes, so good morning everyone. So as Maria mentioned, I'm Cécile Deveau. I'm the Associate Chair for Grad Studies in Mechanical and Mechatronics Engineering. So let me go over some relatively general details on what MEng is and specializations. So going over the bullet points here, that's going to be a relatively short degree, and this is to advance your engineering career. And so typically you don't have to specialize, but you will probably target some specific topics. So it is designed to strengthen and expand upon the technical and practical skills that you gain through your bachelor's degree or through your current or previous professional experience. And so with an MEng, you'll have more specialized knowledge and tools, so to work in some aspects of the field. And for example, but we're going to see there are many different fields and specializations: robotics, sustainable energy, or network systems. Let's go to the next slide. So before we dive into some more details on the MEng, and we need to be very clear on the differences between the MEng or MMSC from Management Science, which is really these two programs are course-based, and then we also have also master's programs which are research-based. So starting with the MEng, so yes, it is only course-based. You may have some small projects, course projects, or even some small research projects, but really the focus will be on coursework. You'll be able to develop, you'll have many different courses, you'll have access to many different courses, so you'll be able to develop your leadership and project management skills. You will have the opportunity to specialize. You do not have to specialize, maybe I should say. You typically will apply for an MEng in a specific department, but if you want to specialize, there'll be specializations available. The normal length, it can be between 1 and 2 years. There's a big difference with a research-based program that you will have to fund the MEng with your own funds. There are very, very few scholarships, almost no scholarships available for MEng students. But however, and that's something that is getting expanding and still relatively new, we have co-op opportunities for MEng students. So of course, we'll discuss about the benefits of co-op, but that will also help for the funding. Management science, I'm not going to talk too much because that's probably the program I'm the least familiar with, but a similar idea. So co-op opportunities, I'm going to start from the end. Co-op opportunities, it's also funded with your own funds, same length of time. And then because that's in management science, there'll be a bit more on the data, so combination of analytical models, data science. So certainly I will invite you to check the management science webpage to have a bit more information on that one specifically. And so in parallel, the research base, that's going to be really focused on research with a big research project and a thesis. And a mini defense. There's no thesis in the MEng program. You will have a supervisor for research-based degree. For the MEng or the MMSc, the course-based, there is no supervisor. You don't need a supervisor. The master's degree, MAC, it's also a good stepping stone for a PhD if you're interested in more in-depth research later on. It takes 2 years. For research-based, typically it's you partially funded. You'll get funding by your supervisor. And there's no specific core, but there are collaborative programs available for research-based. So it's a very different structure and dynamics for these two different programs.
Thank you, Cecile, for explaining, because we are very familiar with the difference of the kind of programs, but this is a good chance for students to know that there are 3 types of programs. And if you are struggling or you really are not interested in a research program, like it's hard to find a supervisor, then also you can apply for these course-based programs and explore the opportunities that you have here with the co-op, the specializations, and many other benefits that you have with these course-based programs, for example.
Yes.
You can continue.
So because I lost track of the slide number. So we're going to talk a little bit more about co-op opportunities, which is quite unique to Waterloo, especially at the graduate level. We are developing the co-op opportunities for graduate students and especially MEng students.
Okay. I'll talk a little bit about our different departments and the programs within those and the specializations that we've been mentioning. So I won't go through all of these specializations. You can go online to read about them specifically if any of them seem interesting to you. But we have our different departments. We've got on this side our chemical engineering, civil and environmental engineering, and mechanical and mechatronics engineering. So for chemical engineering, there is a co-op option that will be starting, I believe, fall 2023. This is a direct entry co-op. So at the time you apply specifically for their co-op option. There's also the regular MEng, which is not co-op. For both them, the co-op or the regular MEng, you can also do the specializations, which are listed below. And that's just a way that you're targeting your coursework. You're saying, I want to learn specifically about biomedical or polymer science and engineering. So you're going to do more courses focused on that. Within each of these departments and their web pages, they'll tell you exactly how you get the specialization. So the types of courses you need to complete. So that's our chemical, our civil. They don't currently have a co-op, but they do have all the specializations. And then nuclear engineering is another one of their specializations. Mechanical and mechatronics engineering has a new direct entry co-op, which will be beginning fall 2024. So applications for that will be open. And again, they also have specializations that compare with that. So moving on to our other three departments, we've got systems design engineering, electrical and computer engineering, and then management sciences engineering. So systems design doesn't currently have a co-op option, but they have lots of MEng specializations. And I'd say this department specifically has a lot of collaboration with our others. And so there's lots of very interesting coursework that might pair with it. Electrical and computer engineering has a direct entry co-op option available. I believe it's been running for 2 semesters now. So this one is a little bit farther along. And so you can be applying currently to do their direct entry. And again, you can see their list of specializations. For management sciences engineering, they currently have co-op, but it's not direct entry. So for current students, you'd be applying to their regular MMSC. And then in, I think it's your second term, you apply to go into the co-op stream. But they are currently playing around with this and will likely be starting a direct entry co-op in the coming year.
Those are great news. So as you can see, like this just shows how big the faculty of engineering is in the University of Waterloo. Chemical engineering, civil and environmental engineering, mechanical and mechatronics, system designs engineering, electrical and computer engineering, management science and engineering. Like it is a large group of programs that are available for you. No wonder why the University of Waterloo is one of the top universities leading in engineering, and then you can be part of this. As mentioned by Emily, there are all those specializations that you may have. This is, of course, a summary of all the information that we want to share with you. You really need to go. Here in the chat, we're sharing all the links by program. So you can see all the details about the deadlines, application costs. We will share that information as well, but we invite you to see the programs available. And also, we have...
So in addition to our departments, we also have schools which fall under the umbrella of engineering. So one of our schools is the Conrad School of Entrepreneurship and Business Technology. So they also have a master's program. It's called the MBET, which is the Masters of Business, Entrepreneurship and Technology. So this is also a course-based program. And a little bit different from the others, the focus is more on marketing, accounting, finance, and a strong focus on entrepreneurship itself. So how would you practically start a business? What is needed? What schools and everything? And because it's under our umbrella of engineering, it has a lot of focus on technology and different engineering focuses within entrepreneurship. If you find you're interested in this as well, and you're part of one of the departments, you can also take courses within the School of Business and Entrepreneurship. There's also some of our programs have like specializations now specifically to add business and entrepreneurship. So you can look at either Conrad's website or the department that you're interested in and see if they've got that pairing. So you can either be standalone in Conrad or you can pair it with your department of interest.
Very flexible. You have a business idea and you have all the knowledge, you don't know how to make money of it, to build a business. There you go. You have an option over here.
Okay, yeah, I can do. So if you have questions about specific programs, or if you have it narrowed down to 2 or 3 even, we encourage you to reach out to the department directly. They'll best be able to answer your specific questions. So Maria is going to be sharing this link and also I believe the slides afterwards, so you can click on this, see who the specific department coordinator is for your department of interest and reach out to them with any questions. There's also going to be, as Maria was saying at the beginning, additional webinars coming, and they're going to be on the specific program. So if you felt we breezed over a couple here, it's good to either reach out to coordinators or just wait for the department specific webinar. Okay, so now we're going to do a little overview of the cost and time it takes to complete the MEng. So the approximate tuition for Canadian or PR students is $3,000 per term. For international students, it's approximately $15,000 per term. This does change a little bit each year, so we've linked with that number 1, where you can see the updated tuition schedules. The average length is 16 months, so 4 terms, or 20 months with the co-op option of 5 terms. The average co-op earnings, and again, this is still very new for master's programs to offer the co-op, so this data might not be completely accurate, but for now we're saying it's around $26 an hour. I think that will increase over time because we've really been basing everything on undergrad students. With a master's, generally you could see that increase a lot more. But again, Maria has linked this for you to go to the co-op page and see what people are saying about earning, what you can anticipate with that.
I have been sharing all the links here. Just please check the chat. Over here, there is a full link with the co-op earnings, so you can see how much it is. But for now, this is what it is overall. Anyways, it really depends, of course. Like when you are applying for a job, it depends on the company you're joining, the conditions, everything. So this is just for you to have a general idea of money. How much does it cost? How much I will get? How long it will take me to complete this degree? Of course, you as an international student, there is a higher tuition. That's how it works. And then, but if you have the co-op term, of course, it helps you to get this 2 years program, so you can apply for the post-graduation work permit with the length that you are looking for.
Okay, and some tips when applying. So make sure you're reviewing our admissions requirements and deadlines carefully. Contact your references ahead of time so that they're expecting an email from UW. Sometimes that's what slows down the application process, is one of your references not realizing they needed to complete something. Also contact the admissions coordinator with any questions throughout the stage. And again, we've given you the contact details. And then review the department web pages before you're applying. Make sure you read the information correctly. You can see the admission conditions for each of our departments linked there. Also shown where you can go to apply. And then we've listed our application deadlines, which remain the same always. So it's always going to be June 1st for the winter deadline, October 1st for the spring deadline, and February 1st for the fall term deadline.
For those international students, winter starts in January, spring starts in May, and fall starts in October. Like for
September.
In September. So there are every 4 months there is a new term, and each program decides how many. I don't know. Maybe Emily, you can help me with the explanation. Like each program decides if opens the 3 terms or only 1. So you really have to see the program. We cannot go in.
Yeah, so some of our programs will only have 1 admission term. So I think 2 of ours will do just fall term admissions, and our others will do admissions for all 3 of the terms. But again, yeah, look at the website to see what happens for the department that you're interested in.
For sure. And they supervise tips.
So some more tips. So this is a question we get often. If you've started an MEng and you realize while you're doing coursework that you're actually very interested in a specific topic and would want to do research on it, it is possible to transfer to the MASC program. What you would need in that case is to find a supervisor who has room in their lab and wants to take you on, and then you would do the paperwork with your coordinator. So don't feel like you are trapped into the MEng if you all of a sudden realize you do have a passion for research and want to go that way. It's more than possible to do that. Another question we get is if you've applied to the co-op but you don't get a spot because those spots are more limited, it is possible for your application to be transferred to a regular MEng admit, so you can still get into our MEng program. And as we've mentioned a couple times here, the direct entry co-op at a master's level is really unique in Canada, and I don't know, possibly even other countries as well. And it's something that we've really started to pioneer and push for most of our departments. And so we are offering something that is, I think, a bit more unique, and it does offer more ways to pay for your schooling as you go through and gives amazing experience. A note here is MEng is highly competitive, so make sure you are applying in advance and that your application is complete and you've gone through it thoroughly. as we've mentioned a couple times, the MEng is student funded. There are some awards that might apply for MEng students. As Cecile had mentioned, it's not very many, but there are some. I know we have one, Bertango one, which is for South American students. So if you go through that database, which Maria has linked, you can actually filter it by what program you are interested in, what country you're coming from, or if you're Canadian, and it'll pop up a list that might be applicable for you. I would also say something we've had too is students might be funded by their companies. So if you are working and they pay for additional schooling, you could get third-party funding. It doesn't have to be from the university. So there's other ways that you can find funding. But in general, majority of those awards are going to be for research-based students.
So as we can see, Waterloo is the best place for you to take your graduate studies for sure. The Faculty of Engineering is one of the world top engineering schools and Canada's largest school. So of course you want to be part of the University of Waterloo. It has a global reputation for academic excellence and supportive entrepreneurial ecosystem. Like it's not only academic, it's Waterloo University is highly recognized for all these connections with the industry. So you will see that the investment will be rewarded when you are working in the field. We have always emerging technologies, innovative research and world-class facilities, and all this you will find it here at the University of Waterloo. So we hope that with this webinar, you learn more about it and you are interested in the MEng programs or MMC, the programs, the course-based programs. If you want to learn more, you can, I will share now the links. You can visit our graduate studies guide with more information. You can request more information by email as well. You have also the contact of the coordinators if you have specific questions. And as we have been mentioning, there are upcoming information sessions, so you can be part of it. I will share the links now. And for the moment, we just have a couple of minutes for questions in the chat. So feel free to ask them. So we have one, the first one, Morgan, she's asking, are there any source of funding for international students interested in any of the MEng programs? Maybe Cecile or Emily can answer, kind of partially answer that.
I'll start at least. There are very, very few awards for MEng students. There's going to be very specialized. I mean, for example, in MEMI, I know there is one for green energy, and that's open to any student as long as you're doing an MEng green energy. So there'll be a few, and I see there's an awards database. That's probably a good starting point, but there are not many. So let's be honest, there are not many. So I would see those as a good top up bonus. But in most cases, I wouldn't rely on additional or external funding for your MEng.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
I would say one other possible source, at times it's not as common, but sometimes MEng students can also be TAs. So you can get additional funding that way, depending on which department. They sometimes allow MEng students to TA courses, and that's always money that goes directly to you. With that as well, sometimes students can be research assistants. So those are other different ways of getting funding while you're at the university.
Sharing the link as well. And we have another question. Let's say my next term will be a co-op term. So what will be the steps and where can I find the co-op openings?
Yeah, so all of our co-op programs work with, so at the University of Waterloo, we have a co-op department. And so all of our co-op programs work with them to find postings, to get jobs. So there is a thing, it's called Waterloo Works, and that's where all of the jobs are being posted. And each term you go through, when you're ready to start your co-op term, you're going through those, applying through jobs through that, and it's helping you find the openings. It is also possible, if you know where you want to work, to create your own co-op job. So if there's a company that you think you'd be interested in, you can work with our co-op department to get that created to be an official co-op term. But most often I'd say students go through the regular Waterloo Works, which is where all the jobs are being posted, and applying through that, which Maria is showing there on the screen. that is how our students go for it.
You got your answer. Aman is asking, what is the acceptance ratio of getting a co-op if a student is already enrolled in a co-op-based course?
Yeah, so Cecile will also be able to answer this because I know MME thought very carefully about that when starting their co-op. But we've started pretty conservative with our co-op programs because we want to make sure every student who is in our co-op program is being given a co-op opportunity and a job. So we are doing everything possible to make sure that students get a job every time. And Cecilia, I don't know if you want to comment more on that.
Yeah, I don't have any specific. I cannot really give a specific number for that question. It's going to be on a case by case. There's no if you're already enrolled in the MEng, it's not sure you'll be able to switch to a co-op option. Again, that's going to be case by case. In MEME, we're starting our new direct entry co-op in fall. So we will look at those already accepted in the regular MEng, but in the future, that may not happen. We don't know, I guess. And even in other departments, I don't think there's going to be a clear answer. It's a case by case, depending on how many spots will be available. However, maybe I just want to mention this because I talked to quite a few MEng students actually recently. Even if you're not in a co-op MEng, you may still be able to find a job, like an internship, by yourself. So that will not be through our co-op department. That will not be a degree milestones, will not be part of your degree. But if you find an internship in a company by yourself, you may be able to, depending as well on the immigration status, so that's something you have to check, but you may be able to an internship arranged by yourself and then take an inactive term. But that will not be through Waterloo. Just want to put this out there.
That's great. Fadil, he's asking for the MMSC program. I noticed they mentioned we are eligible for co-op program only if we score 85% in the first term. Does that mean everybody that scores 85% gets into MMSC co-op, or is there any extra criteria that must be fulfilled?
Yeah, so for that one, it's not that every student who gets over 85% will get into the co-op program. They do have still a limited amount of spots for the co-op program. So students who get above 85 are eligible to apply to be transferred to the co-op one, and each of those will be considered for entry into co-op. So it's essentially like a second application that you're doing after you've finished the first term. I don't know exactly what the conditions would be. So I would say if you're interested in that, to come to the MMSC or the Management Sciences information session, and they'll be better able to answer those types of questions, or you can email them directly with the contact information Maria is providing. But that also being said, the Management Sciences is moving to direct entry model. And so that won't actually be a question any longer once that is happened. And I might actually just answer the next question, Maria, while I'm at it, because it kind of ties to it. So if somebody is already in the regular MEng and not in the co-op, is it possible for them to apply for co-op later? So currently that is only possible with Management Sciences because they have they don't have the direct entry. Once everyone is onto a direct entry model, it won't be possible to switch from a regular MEng to an MEng co-op. That will only be possible at the application stage.
Yeah, those are things that they come after and you're like, oh, can I go back? But it just came later.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And we have a last question. Will system design engineering get a co-op opportunity in the future?
Yes, so I think, again, that'd be a good question for the systems design webinar specifically. I would say in general that our departments are very interested in it and all are considering it as an option. So it's definitely not off the table. Timeline, though, it does take time to develop these programs and get them ready to go. So even if they're interested, I don't exactly know when it would be ready to roll out.
And no, for the moment, we will see what happens in the future. And again, we will have all these webinars going on every Wednesday. I share this link in the chat. I will share it just here again. where we are having all the engineering events. So please join us in the next department-specific webinar. So I think we were just on time. We finished everything. It is, here we are. Let me just stop sharing here the screen. And we're good. So I think this was just very good time, just 30 minutes to explain you what are the benefits of applying to an MEng program. We hope that you got the answers that you were looking for, that you are inspired to take this program, and you know all the benefits, the kind of programs that you have. We're more than happy to have you here at the University of Waterloo. Thank you so much, Cecile, for your time and your knowledge. Same for Emily and Tracy. So that will be it for today. Thank you so much, and have everyone a very good day.